Truelove Quilts for you here. Coming to you from a fairly cool, actually a cool and sort of sunny day here in Pennsylvania, in America. We just wanted to say hello to you, the Truelove family. I'm not doing any tutorial today. In fact, I'm going to be not philosophizing about something, and it's not a story because it's not my story. But I just got off the phone with my friend Jen, and so many of you are missing Jen. I'm missing Jen. Jen is missing me. Malia, we are all in our socially distancing phase, and we were talking about it quite seriously. That we, as you know, are Bible students and try our best to live by Bible principles. And the principle at this point, even without the COVID, even without the pandemic and the virus going on outside, we're talking about the sanctity of life and how precious that is to God. All throughout the Bible, it again is the preservation and the importance of life and taking care of our well-being with personal hygiene practices, cleanliness practices, and again, preserving of life. So we're not even talking, Jen and I were discussing on the phone this morning, certain things, like without the pandemic notwithstanding, we were talking about the violence in the world. I don't like to watch the news, but I had gotten a clip, and I had seen a clip on my computer about these random punchings, these random acts of violence. Horrific, absolutely horrific. So it's interesting that we've been given by the government and by biblical principles, we've been given the admonition to really hunker down and stay safe. And you know, they're just words when I say stay safe, keep healthy, but the times that we're living in, it's unprecedented. I said, Elliot said, I want precedented times, right? Because we're living in unprecedented times. And what lurks outside, whether the evil or the violence, or the diseases or the mayhem, it's really quite a lot to take in. And Jen and I were talking. Of course, see her on our Zoom meetings that we have twice a week for our Bible classes. But she chatted. She chatted, and it was interesting because she said, "You were the last person I hugged," and it was back in, I suppose, March. It's now August. Whatever. I went over to Jen's house, and we had gotten the sort of the direction of social distancing. But what did that mean at that point? Masks, I was outside of Jen's, and we both gave each other a hug. As you know, we're huggy people. And all of a sudden it was like, oh no, step back. And Jen brought it to my attention. I was the last person she hugged, outside of her family, of course. And she was talking about the dynamics of her children. She has 3 children, as you know, a 16-year-old, a 11-year-old, and a 6-year-old. Her 2 youngest are going to be doing an online charter school, and then her oldest is going to be doing a online tech school. But like tech school, you have to go hands-on. So whatever it becomes, we have come to the conclusion with Maxwell, because Maxwell will be 21, our son Maxwell, who's in he's autistic and he's in special eds classes till he's the age of 21. He will be 21 in October. So the school is not going to begin, it's going to begin virtually in September, but there's nothing set in stone until the end of November in our area. So what we have come to the conclusion, Maxwell has been volunteering and working with his brothers, working with my husband, doing things, odd jobs. That's going to be it. We've been in touch with the school to obtain his high school diploma that he had received with his class 2 years ago. So there'll be an end to that, because my husband and I are in the vulnerable age for the pandemic, for the disease, and they want to open the schools. So we said it's not really worth it. It's not really worth it. The end goal for Maxwell was to be in the working world anyway, and we are endeavoring to keep him safe in that world. And so that is the decision that we've made. We have yet to have meetings, Zoom meetings with his team, because he has his IEP in place. So we'll see how that goes. But again, I'm not doing a tutorial because I wanted to address something that is I guess it's a concern, because it's a pain in the neck. And again, with all due respect to YouTube, who has made this possible for me, silly little me, to make my silly little videos, to put out to all you lovely YouTube friends and family here, they have changed something up. And as somebody was saying, it's not a small change. This is a large change. I don't believe, or I believe to a certain extent, I don't know what extent it is, but to a certain extent, the videos that I put are not being seen by certain of you, viewers, who choose to watch me, because of notifications, because of the subscription, because of the bell ringing, or whatever. And then other people have expressed concern about it's messing with their actual emails, which I don't know about. I don't know what's going on. All I do know is that I'm either being watched or not. Now, I have a master analytics chart on my YouTube master page that I, as the creator, can see. I don't really know exactly what I'm looking at. I'm not au fait with all of the graphs and the ins and outs. I'm not. But I can see my income has has it gone down? It's not a lot. Let me tell you that right now. As you know, I'm not doing this for the money. But has it stayed the same? But my views, my adverts, that at one point somebody said that there's 1 million adverts on my videos, and you're kind enough to bear with that. And then somebody said, oh, they're gone. I'm not quite sure how that goes, but I think, summing it up, I think that the changes that YouTube has made right at this moment are not for the better. They're not beneficial. It's not beneficial for me and or you as the viewers, perhaps. Hopefully this video will get out to you. Again, I'm just sort of philosophizing it about. I'm not doing any sewing right now, and I think I'm going to give it a little bit of a break. I'm tired. I was saying I laugh and everything. I have this positive energy, which we do have a positive view towards things. Better to be positive. But right now, I'm just giving it a break. So I'll be back when I'm back. But I wanted to share, again, something philosophical. It's silly, but it wasn't. And I thought you people who listen to me really do appreciate me and my little stories. This is not my story. I had read this to my husband, and Jordan came, or Elliot came the other day, and we were discussing, or was it Elliot? Somebody came the other day, and we were discussing this, and I thought, I just thought, it's a small story. I had printed it out by a comedian. Perhaps some of you older folks will remember him, George Carlin, and I'm sure you know what I'm going to be saying. George Carlin was an American comedian who died in 2008, and he was a stand-up comedian who had lived in New York City. I watched him in the 70s and into the 80s, and he was very much a cultural or subcultural icon of political correctness. He wasn't all about that, and he was quite perhaps a controversial individual, but funny with it. And I remember watching him on different programs and Saturday Night Live and things, but I had just discovered this I had read this about maybe 5, 6, 7 years ago. And I had just seen it, again, on the internet, but I printed it out. And I just wanted to, if you want to share with me just for a few minutes, these words of George Carlin. I thought it was just something, and it's called Something to Ponder. George Carlin's wife, Sally, I looked that up. She died in early 2008. George Carlin followed quickly after. He died in July of 2008. It's ironic that George Carlin, the comedian of the 70s and 80s, could write something so eloquent and so very appropriate. This is an observation by George Carlin. The paradox of our time in history is that we have taller buildings but shorter tempers, wider freeways but narrower viewpoints. We spend more but have less. We buy more but enjoy less. We have bigger houses and smaller families, more conveniences but less time. We have more degrees but less sense, more knowledge but less judgment, more experts yet more problems, more medicine but less wellness. We drink too much, smoke too much, spend too recklessly, laugh too little, drive too fast, get too angry, stay up too late, get up too tired, read too little, watch TV too much, and pray too seldom. We have multiplied our possessions but reduced our values. We talk too much, love too seldom, and hate too often. We've learned how to make a living, but not a life. We've added years to life, not life to years. We've been all the way to the moon and back, but have trouble crossing the street to meet a new neighbor. We conquered outer space, but not inner space. We've done larger things, but not better things. We've cleaned up the air, but polluted the soul. We've conquered the atom, but not our prejudice. We write more, but learn less. We plan more, but accomplish less. We've learned to rush, but not to wait. We build more computers to hold more information, to produce more copies than ever, but we communicate less and less. These are times of fast foods and slow digestion, big men and small character, steep profits and shallow relationships. These are the days of 2 incomes but more divorce, fancier houses but broken homes. These are the days of quick trips, disposable diapers, throwaway morality, one-night stands, overweight bodies, and pills that do everything from cheer to quiet to kill. It is a time when there is much in the showroom window and nothing in the stockroom. A time when technology can bring this letter to you, and a time when you can choose either to share the insight or just to hit delete. Remember to spend some time with your loved ones because they're not going to be around forever. Remember, say a kind word to someone who looks up to you in awe, because that little person soon will grow up and leave your side. Remember, we wish, to give a warm hug to the one next to you, because that's the only treasure you can give with your heart, and it doesn't cost a cent. Remember to say I love you to your partner and your loved ones, but most of all, mean it. A kiss and an embrace will mend hurt when it comes from deep inside of you. Remember to hold hands and cherish the moment, for someday that person will not be there again. Give time to love, give time to speak, and give time to share the precious thoughts in your mind. And this is me speaking, because you see this sign and this saying all over the place, but really, it's so true. Remember that life is not measured by the number of breaths we take, but by those moments that take our breath away. George Carlin. I just read that and I paused. I do. I don't pause a lot because I'm doing things, but I paused and I thought, isn't that profound? And again, I'm not all hot and heavy today because, I'm all like Dr. Phil and you or Oprah. But I just thought these words, spend time with your loved ones. This is such a terrible time that we're all going through. And again, we all say, oh, stay healthy, keep safe. And we really, Jen and I, the Trueloves, we really, and so many of you out there who it's an interchange of encouragement. And boy, do we need it. We really need that interchange of encouragement. I've tried, Jen and I try to be positive, but it's getting to us. How much longer can this go on? Day by day, again, as we say, day by day. And I was so moved. I was just so moved. We've learned to make a living, but not a life. We've multiplied our possessions, but reduced our values. So whether it applies to us all, or it doesn't apply to any of us, whatever the takeaway from this is, myself and my family, we were very moved by this astute and eloquent individual who made us laugh, but also made us think. So anyway, there you go. That's your Oprah moment for the day. What the heck? I just wanted to say to you all genuinely and sincerely, thank you for watching me. I always say taking your precious time. Even if you have time on your hands, you don't have to watch me, and yet so many of you do. I'm going to take a little bit of a break because of YouTube anyway. I'm just going to take a little bit of a break, have a breather. I'm going to enjoy the nature that we have here. I'm not going to stress myself out. Jen was saying the exact same thing. One day we will be back in my sewing room having a laugh, maybe going on a road trip or something. And we pray and hope for that day. And again, as always, I'm asking you to please love each other. Be safe. It's a big, wicked, bad world we live in. And we know there's happier times. The Bible foretells that. But in the meantime, we just have to hang in there and take care of each other. And again, thank you so very, very much for listening to me waffle on, rattle on. And I'm just asking you to have a lovely day. All right. See you, folks. From the Trueloves to you.